Chicago PD devastates fans by firing two IAU members ahead of Season 12 final. It wasn't supposed to happen this way. The promo for Open Casket suggested that Hank Voigt, Jason Begg, had a concrete plan to take down his crooked superior, Deputy Chief Reed Sean Hatosi. In true Chicago PD fashion, though, everything went south, and the IAU found itself falling even further under Reed's command. Those who remained, at least. Open Casket packed some truly shocking developments in its final moments. Not only did Reed launch an internal affairs investigation into the IAU, he fired two of its core members on the spot. He fired Kim Burgess, Marina Scorciati, for misconduct mere days before her wedding to Adam Ruzek, Patrick John Pfluger. We really did not see it coming. Dante Torres, Benjamin Levy Aguilar, had it even worse. Not only was the officer fired from the IAU, but he was arrested for misconduct and could potentially face jail time. Burgess and Torres' firings both stem from the story arc involving the latter and former CI Gloria Perez, Yara Martinez. Torres had an affair with the CI in Season 11, and Burgess helped to cover it up in Season 12. Unfortunately, they were not able to keep this information from Reed. The deputy chief figured out what happened, and rather than penalize them on the spot, he has spent the entirety of Season 12 using this information to his advantage. He's effectively blackmailed Burgess and Torres, and given how unified the IAU is, this means he has the rest of the team in his back pocket as well. Kim Burgess has had an extremely rough go in Season 12. Her promotion to detective has brought nothing but stress and paranoia due to the Torres situation. And now, on the cusp of her wedding, she finds herself unceremoniously let go. It's difficult not to feel bad for Torres as well. The character has really internalized the guilt of giving Reed blackmail material on the IAU, and he started to break down on the job. He's missed time due to insomnia, injured his arm in an off-duty accident, and admitted to Voigt that the only reason he went back to work was because he was worried he'd be fired if he took more time off. Well, now he doesn't have to worry about it. He does, however, have to worry about charges he may be hit with if Reed reveals what happened with Perez. Did we mention that Reed also put a halt to any further IAU activity? The deputy chief has so much control over the situation that the unit will not be allowed to operate until it's been properly reviewed. And guess who's doing the review? If you guessed Reed, then you are as sharp and as concerned as we are. We suspected that Chicago PD would escalate things heading into this season finale, but we did not expect to lose two team members or watch the IAU be shut down until further notice. The stakes have never been higher, because if Voigt doesn't figure out a way to take Reed down in time, then his unit and his career could be over. In a stunning move that sent shockwaves through the One Chicago fandom, Chicago PD has abruptly let go of two beloved members of its intelligence unit, just days before the highly anticipated Season 12 final. The news broke early this morning with a cryptic press release from NBC, confirming the departures but offering few details. By noon, social media had erupted into a frenzy of disbelief, heartbreak, and speculation. For loyal viewers who followed the IAU's gritty cases and complex relationships for over a decade, the blow feels personal. The unexpected shake-up. According to several sources close to production, actors LaRoyce Hawkins, Kevin Atwater, and Tracy Spiridakos, Haley Upton, were informed late last week that they would not be returning for Season 13. Filming for the season finale had already wrapped, making the firings all the more bewildering. Spiridakos had already hinted at stepping back from the show earlier this year, but fans hoped for a soft, respectful send-off. Hawkins' firing, on the other hand, appears to have caught everyone off guard, including the cast. "We were blindsided," an anonymous crew member told TV Line. This wasn't a planned storyline exit. It was cold, corporate, and last minute. And it's going to affect the finale more than anyone's letting on. The fallout within the IO. In universe, Atwater and Upton are two of the most emotionally rich characters on the squad. Atwater has long carried the weight of Chicago's racial tensions on his back, balancing loyalty to his badge with the realities of policing black communities. Upton, once the hardened lone wolf, evolved into one of the show's most complex characters, still haunted by past trauma but fiercely loyal to Voight's vision of justice. Season 12 has leaned heavily into both characters' arcs. Atwater's recent undercover assignment nearly cost him his life, while Upton has been grappling with PTSD and the collapse of her marriage to Jay Halstead. Fans hoped the finale would give them closure, or at least a path forward. Now, with the actors unceremoniously fired, there's growing concern that the finale may fall flat or feel rushed. Fans react: heartbreaking, insulting, wrong. Within hours, the hashtag #JusticeForAtwater began trending on X, formerly Twitter, accompanied by clips of his most powerful scenes, from confronting racist officers to rescuing a kidnapped child. Fans also resurrected the campaign #UptonDeservesBetter, a refrain that began during her rocky marriage arc, but has taken on a new urgency. "This show just lost its heart," one fan wrote on Reddit. "Atwater has been the moral compass. Upton has been the emotional glue. Without them, what's left?" Instagram fan pages for both actors were flooded with supportive messages, while some users turned their frustration toward NBC. This is a network that let Voight survive a dozen ethical violations. One person commented, "But they get rid of the two people with actual integrity." Behind-the-scenes tensions. While NBC's official statement described the decision as part of a creative restructuring, industry insiders suggest deeper tensions. According to a source close to production, both Hawkins and Spiridakos had pushed back on recent script changes they felt undermined their characters' development. There's also speculation that budget cuts played a role, with Chicago PD reportedly facing pressure to streamline costs ahead of its likely renewal for Season 13. Let's be real, firing two leads right before the finale smells like damage control, said a veteran showrunner who requested anonymity. It's either contract disputes gone bad or a calculated pivot to bring in new blood. Rumors are already circulating about potential replacements in the IO. Some whisper that a new detective, possibly portrayed by a former Chicago fire actor, could join the unit next season. Others worry this is a sign that Chicago PD is gearing up for its swan song. What does this mean for Voight? With Atwater and Upton gone, fans are now wondering, what happens to Hank Voight? The often controversial leader of the IO has outlasted nearly every original team member. And while Jason Biggs' portrayal remains a fan favorite, even longtime viewers acknowledge the growing cracks in his command. If Voight stays, he'll be leading a team of rookies, one fan posted on Facebook. And honestly, without the bond of this core group, it won't be the same show. Others are hopeful that the finale, reportedly titled No Way Back, will honor the departing characters with the grace they deserve. If they're gone, fine, wrote another viewer. But give Atwater a hero's exit. Let Upton reclaim her peace. Don't just ghost them like they never mattered. A bleak but familiar pattern. Unfortunately, Chicago PD fans are no strangers to abrupt cast exits. From the sudden departure of Sophia Bush, Aaron Lindsay, to the quiet exit of Elias Koteas, Alvin Olinsky, the show has a history of pulling the rug out from under fans. Yet something about this latest development feels more jarring. Perhaps because of its proximity to the finale or the symbolic weight these two characters carry. They could have written them out with dignity, said one longtime fan. Instead, it feels like a slap in the face. Looking ahead. Despite the backlash, Chicago PD remains a ratings juggernaut and is still expected to be renewed for season 13. But its foundation feels shakier than ever. The intelligence unit's strength has always come from its chemistry, the interplay between grit and heart, justice and consequence. Losing Atwater and Upton not only breaks that balance, it risks breaking the show's soul. In the final seconds of season 12, fans will no doubt watch with aching hearts, hoping for a miracle, a cameo, a hint that this isn't truly goodbye.